before the blood was spilled on October 7, financial movements were already taking place behind the scenes, quietly, discreetly, and reportedly with the knowledge and consent of Israeli authorities who believed the money would help maintain stability in Gaza. In the weeks leading up to the devastating Hamas attack, Israel was not fortifying for an impending war. Instead, it was deeply engaged in behind-the-scenes talks focused on managing and facilitating financial inflows into the blockaded Gaza Strip. According to multiple reports, Israel had even asked Qatar to increase its funding to Gaza just 1 month before the October 7 attacks, in an effort to sustain essential infrastructure and maintain calm within the enclave. In September 2023, Israeli officials held a quiet meeting with Qatari envoy Mohammed al-Ahmadi at a hotel in Jerusalem, a diplomatic encounter that focused on the flow of humanitarian and economic aid into Gaza. This was the same al-Ahmadi who for years supervised the transfer of hundreds of millions of dollars in Qatari cash into Gaza, overseeing a lifeline that simultaneously supported everyday citizens and the governing institutions under Hamas. During that meeting, Israeli representatives reportedly asked Qatar to ramp up its purchases of Egyptian fuel intended for the Hamas-run government in Gaza, citing the need to stabilize the territory's energy supplies and prevent unrest. Since 2021, Qatar has been buying Egyptian fuel and gifting it to Hamas, a process that allowed the regime to sell the fuel locally and generate valuable income, cash that has become a key part of Gaza's complex economic ecosystem. Inside Gaza, Hamas sold the imported fuel through local distributors, using the proceeds to pay the salaries of government officials, security personnel, and senior military commanders who maintained control over the territory. Israel, though officially distanced from direct funding, acted as a quiet and indirect participant in this arrangement, supporting Gaza's basic functioning while ensuring that the money did not flow openly into Hamas's militant operations. Roughly a month before the October 7 attacks, Qatari envoy Mohammed al-Ahmadi made a high-profile visit to Gaza, where he held discussions with Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar about the enclave's worsening financial and humanitarian conditions. During those talks, Sinwar reportedly asked al-Ahmadi to raise the monthly fuel purchases from $3 million to $7 million, a substantial increase intended to ease Gaza's economic strain and sustain public services. Qatar, however, declined the request, citing existing financial limitations and regional sensitivities. Yet only a few weeks later, Israel made a strikingly similar appeal, hoping to expand fuel deliveries to calm public anger, prevent mass protests, and keep Gaza economically stable under Hamas rule. The request made in September came at a time when Gaza was witnessing March of Return-style demonstrations, widely viewed as pressure tactics by Hamas to extract concessions and financial commitments from Israel. Intelligence reports suggest that Hamas's broader strategy during this period was to lull Israel into a sense of calm and complacency, masking its growing military preparations in the lead-up to the devastating October 7 attacks. In the midst of these discussions, Qatari envoy Mohammed al-Ahmadi reportedly told Israeli officials that he could not immediately guarantee Doha's willingness to increase fuel purchases for Gaza, citing the need for further consultation and approval from Qatari leadership. Just days before the attacks, MOSSAD chief David Barnea made an urgent visit to Doha, pressing Qatari officials to maintain the regular flow of financial aid into Gaza to ensure stability and prevent an economic collapse that could spark unrest. Between 2018 and October 7, Qatar is reported to have transferred tens of millions of dollars every month into Gaza, money that Israel portrayed publicly as humanitarian support designed to sustain basic services and civilian needs. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended this policy, insisting that the funds were intended purely for humanitarian relief and economic stability in Gaza, a move aimed at preventing a larger security and humanitarian disaster. However, Netanyahu denied repeated allegations that any of the Qatari money may have indirectly supported Hamas's operations leading up to October 7, dismissing intelligence warnings linked to senior commander Mohammed Deif. As the regional war intensifies and emotions run high in Israel, Qatar's role as both mediator and funder has become a source of deep controversy, drawing sharp public scrutiny and political debate within the country. The controversy has also widened with new allegations claiming that some of Netanyahu's close aides were involved in organizing a media and lobbying campaign designed to portray Qatar's involvement in a more favorable light. Ultimately, the September funding request highlights the complicated and often uneasy financial relationships that bound Israel, Qatar, and Hamas together. Ties that, in hindsight, now appear more precarious and consequential than ever before.
25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.